Hey guys, so I just thought that I'd show some games that I really liked over the last couple of years. Like, these are going to be different than the regular like full playthroughs. I just wanted to kind of give a bit of time to games that people either never got to play because they just had never heard of it, or just didn't realize it was something cool. So I dusted off the 360 and we're trying out Lumines Live here. Lumines, I've also heard it said. And it's cool that the 360 still works. I wasn't sure if it would, because there are a bunch of games in there I'd like to show too. So basically what this one is it's a puzzler, obviously, and I don't know, it always has you know, electronic music. There's a bit of a time frame used in it too. I was playing this morning randomly on the PSP, which I had sitting around, and I've been kind of obsessed with this game for, I don't know, on and off this year. Hey, bro. But I know that a lot of people, I don't think it got as popular as maybe it could have. And possibly that could be because, you know, the PSP wasn't super popular in North America. The best versions of this game, I think, are on the PSP or the Vita. They also had a game for the PS3 released, which I don't know if I have. I'll take a look. And then this one, which I bought, but I don't think I played more than a handful of times. Like, I got into this game several years after I bought this original version. Yeah, the PSP was great, broke. I wish there was a way I could play some games. I'm a big fan of the Sony, like, not like a, you know, not over the moon, but like I really like Sony's handheld systems. Yeah, but you know, the Vita just didn't get marketed well. I picked one up the winter, and the hardware was great. Like, Sony really does hardware well. The problem was they gave up on it too early. It didn't do well in North America. I mean, they're still pumping out games for it in Japan, and possibly Europe. I'm not sure about Europe, but I know it's still big in Japan. Like, that's why you can still get games for it. And I mean, there's some things that were kind of hokey what they added on, and like the touch screen on the back was a little, like, it didn't get used very much. That's the problem when you try to take too many chances or try to do different things. You got to get people to buy into it and develop for it, and that's not always easy, especially if I mean, if they're not confident that it's going to be a successful system. So I mean, the same thing happens with or happened with, well, pretty much any system that, well, not the Wii. The Wii was successful. Like, the Wii U, in terms of the gamepad, didn't get developer support. You know, the Kinect for the Xbox, whatever Xbox One, or 360 for that matter. What else? Anyway, basically, it's difficult to get developers outside of first party. Like, obviously Nintendo will do it, but to spend the time and money on something that may not be successful and make, you know, they're taking a chance, basically. Yeah, the Vita, I don't know. It was actually the first handheld I bought in this, like, recent period of gaming, so in the last couple of years. Like, I bought it before, did I? I don't remember if I bought it before 3DS. But I wanted to play, like, there are certain games, like, I'm an RPG fan, right? And there are a lot of like good RPGs on it. Like the Persona games you can get for it. There were a couple Tales games for it. Plus, there was a, you know, there was a decent Uncharted game, and I'm a big Uncharted fan. What else was there? Well, Final Fantasy X got re-released on that too, which was, I like the idea of being able to play that mobile. They had a bunch of random, like, indie games too that were really good for it. That got released, I think, for PS4 as well. But I mean, it's nice to have the mobility. I'm trying to think of what. Gravity Rush was a good one. What else? Swan Story was good. That's also on PS4. I'll probably stream some of that at some point. Anyway, I could go on for a bit, but there were some good games for it that I really enjoyed. Tearaway was good, by the same guys, Media Molecule, that did what's it called? Little Big Planet. There's also a Little Big Planet. Anyway, if I'm gonna go through all the games, I could go upstairs and look at them. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, it was fun. But you're right, it didn't do well in North America. And I'm not really sure why, other than, I mean, could have been marketing. I mean, pricing, I think, was an issue. Memory, yeah, Sony always kind of makes mistakes trying to make proprietary products. Like, they've got a long history of of developing good technologies. I mean, in this case, I don't know how good it is, but like, I don't know, the technicalities of the memory. I think it's basically just so they can profit off it. And Sony's got a long history of that again with that, the whole, high def fight between HD DVD and Blu-ray and what else have they done? There was some other memory thing. I mean, they did the same memory issue with the PSP, where they decided to use the memory stick. I think it was Duo. I forget the names. I mean, it was memory stick for Vita too. But it costs like at least 2, sometimes 3 times as much money, right? So you're going from having to spend a couple $100 on the system itself, and then having, if you want to use it, have the full functionality basically, in terms of being able to download stuff from the app stores and all that kind of stuff, you're having to then spend, like, I think I spent $100 on the card for this system, and that was several years after launch, right? Like, it was a big card, but back in the day, it would be like a tiny card for $100. It was pretty crazy. So I think they kind of killed themselves that way. People don't want to drop, a couple $100 on the system, $100 on the video, the memory card, and still don't have games to play for it, right? Anyway, whatever. It's too bad, but I just like to have competition. I don't like just Nintendo being the player in mobile. I mean, even if I'm a Nintendo fan, I like to have options, right? Okay, so where was it going? This game. Yeah, so basically what this game is you got to match up like 4 squares of the same, well, at least 4 squares of the same color. And you can get cascading effects as it drops, as you'll see. And basically, that line going across horizontally is basically when all the matched ones will disappear. So as long as you could add stuff onto them, as long as that line doesn't go, and obviously once it goes, it's over. And the idea is similar to Tetris, where you basically don't want to have it go all the way to the top, obviously, and then you're dead. And as you build up, like as you clear more points, obviously then you go to different levels, which are basically just different skins with different music. But anyway, it's fun. Let me show you how it goes. So this will be a relatively quick one. I just wanted to show people what it looked like because I was playing it today and I felt like it. There are a bunch of, I might make a series of this, and by might I mean will, because there are a bunch of like older games, and we'll go even much older than this, back to like retro stuff, but like random games that were awesome that people may not have played or heard of, depending on how old it is, right? Because, I mean, I've been playing games for a while, and I don't know. Well, I mean, there's probably stuff people didn't realize or weren't even around for. I have no idea. Anyway, so this is one of them, and yeah, so let's give it a go. So I'll probably call, I don't know what I'll call the series, whatever, but they'll just be shorter streams, and if people want to see more of them, yeah, I call this one Random Good Games, whatever. If people want to see more of them, let me know, but, you know, we'll just do 15, 20-minute ones, and, okay, what's going on here? That was weird. What the fuck? Sorry, guys, controller issue.
Single player game.
Yeah, there's always kind of like this robotic element to it.
Challenge mode.
So let's see how this controller works. I haven't played 3DS in a while. Not 3DS, 360. And I'm not going to use that joystick. Okay. Sorry. So we'll try to get through a couple levels so you can hear the different music and whatnot. I really wish I could do the PSP one, because it has, I really like the soundtrack. I'm not as familiar with the songs for this one. It's also funny because I'm used to playing this on portable, so it's weird not playing on a portable. I don't know how fun this is to watch someone play, but I just wanted to, like, you know, show what it looks like, because, I don't know, I just felt like it. The other games were more regular games. I mean, puzzle games are kind of difficult to, I think this version has a button that reverses the rotation. I'm not sure what that one is, so I'm just going to keep going. But yeah, other games I was thinking about doing, and again, if you guys have anything you want to see, just let me know. But, what were the other ones I was talking about this morning? Like Guacamelee is one, which is kind of like a Metroidvania type game, like with like a Day of the Dead kind of style to it. It's I was really charmed by that game. It's got gorgeous animation and the music is great. I don't know, it's funny too. So that was one. What was the other one? Cave Story, which has been out for a little while, but it just recently got re-released and kind of updated for the Switch. I really like that game. It's got some good, like, old school chiptunes. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I'm still gonna be doing those ones, bro. Like, those are gonna be actual playthroughs. So these are kind of just like, this is what the game's like. You know, if you weren't familiar. I mean, because these games are cheap. You can get them pretty easily. Like, they're you can download versions on Xbox Live, and apparently it's also on PS Now or PlayStation Now. Same with Guacamelee, by the way. So apparently there are free trials for that. So if you want to try it out, you can just sign up for whatever their free trial nonsense is, and play a bit for free. So I thought that would be kind of cool, because why not? But definitely Last of Us is happening, and Kingdom Hearts will happen too, because I want to play that again before the new one comes out sometime in the future. It's actually a bit slower than the other versions, but whatever. So what did I say? Cave Story, Guacamelee. I was gonna play Journey. I don't know if people ever played Journey. Like, it's a weird. That's not. I mean, it's a gorgeous game, but it's a very different style of game, and it's got great music, and it's just, you can finish it in a couple hours. And it's kind of neat because in that game, I'm sure people have heard of it. I don't know. I'll just talk about it anyway. But basically, it's almost like an art. Like, it's really, you have to see it. But the neat thing is that it's multiplayer in that it kind of incorporates other people playing at the same time. So you can see other people like wandering around trying to figure out what to do, and you can follow each other and all this kind of stuff. It's not a combat-based game. It's kind of an exploration game. Like, there's a bit of a very vague story in the background, so you don't really know who the person is you're controlling or anything about the world. And you got bits and pieces of a storyline, and there's no dialogue, and you kind of just have to figure out what to do, and that's the kind of neat thing, is that if you see other people playing, they're all trying to figure out what to do, and anyway, it might sound funny, but it's like, it's a really cool experience, so I'll do that one just for shits. Yeah, no, it got a lot of notoriety because it was kind of like this, just, it was, again, I felt it was kind of like an artful experience, or, you know, like there's something to it. It was a visceral experience. So I'll try that one too. That developer has done a couple games like that. They also had a game called, like, I think they're owned by Sony now, so they wouldn't be available on different systems. I think the company's called Santa Monica or Santa Clara, something like that. One of those. Sorry if anyone works there. Probably don't. What'd they do? They did, Flower was one, which was, I think, one of their, like, titles they showed off back with the PS3 launch. There was another one that was kind of like fish. It was about fish or something. Crap, what's the name? Flow. I think it was Flow. So they're kind of like, you know, experimental type games. Anyway, so you'll see when I do that one. It'll be sometime soon, because I mean, it doesn't take very much time for me to play one of these things. So I don't know. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but I will. Anyway, so of course it's repetitive, but I just found it kind of soothing that it would just have, you know, you could play and kind of just lose it, like, kind of sink into the music a bit. Some of it's pretty, like, ambient, or, you know, there's some acid jazz, there's just different types of music that I might not listen to normally. anymore. I used to be much more into electronic music, so it's kind of a pull for me, just random. Especially with some of the older ones, because I recognize some of the songs, so it might have something to do with it. I think what other games though? Oh, like Bastion's another really good one that I'd love to. It's kind of like an action. I mean, there are RPG elements because you can like gain like abilities, and it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic. Well, it seems post-apocalyptic. Something happened. It has great music too. They brought in another game afterwards, which I still haven't played, called Transistor, which looks gorgeous too. I'll have to give that a shot, so I'll do that at some point. What else? Child of Light, probably. Like all these little games that you can probably get for not a lot of money right now, or oftentimes they'll be available. Definitely, you know, on PC, Steam sales will have them all the time. But you can probably get them on PS Now or, you know, Games with Gold or whatever. I haven't checked that out in quite some time. But anyway, fun little games that again aren't like super expensive. Some of them are older, so again people won't know about them, or they heard about them and just never got around to playing it. Right? Like I've done with a million games. So anyway, I'm going off, but basically just shorter streams to kind of introduce people to different games or things that are, you know, maybe they haven't seen or forgot about it or whatever. So yeah, I don't know how long you want to watch this broke, but I can keep talking if you want. I'm not in a very productive mood today, so. Undertale's another one I meant to play that I probably will do on here. Not probably, I will. I'm not sure about like crafting style games. I never really got into them, but if I motivate myself, I could do something like Minecraft, maybe, or what else? I really haven't played Minecraft, so that's I know it's like a massive game, or it was. So I'm usually a bit behind on some games because I go in and out of, or in the past I've gone in and out of. Yeah, I'm too broke. I always seem to play when I'm hungry. What was the other one? Like Stardew Valley is another one I was thinking about. I don't know though. It's like hit or miss with me. It's either going to be something I really enjoy, or I'll find it to be a real waste of time. But I know a lot of people like it, so I have to give it a shot. I mean, just because like I've learned that just because it doesn't sound good to me doesn't mean that it's not good. So sometimes you gotta listen to what other people are saying. Yeah. We don't have those up here. But I always enjoy them whenever I go down. There are so many more restaurants like that in the States than there are in Canada. Like, that's like one of the first things I notice when I drive down, like, if I drive down to Florida or whatever. Because I usually drive all the way through and, you know, stop along the way. That's part of the fun, is like seeing all the different places. And like, I don't want to just go straight to Florida. Like, I like to drive. But yeah, like, there are some things that like you notice immediately, which is funny because like one thing is the billboards along the highway. Like, they're everywhere and they're massive. It's getting more that way here now, but it used to be. It's not even close still though. Like, it used to be that they weren't allowed on highways. But yeah, the other thing is the restaurants. Like, we've probably got, like, you've got one or two for every one we have. There isn't as much like brands and, you know, franchises and stuff. But yeah, the ones. Hey, Analysis, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just shooting the shit and showing this game because I felt like it. I keep saying that, but I was just really enjoying. I, again, randomly picked up the PSP this morning again, and this game's just sitting in it. So I was supposed to be doing some work, and I was like, 20 minutes later, I realized that wasn't happening. So I figured make something of it. So I'll just give a quick rundown of how you play this. I said it already, but whatever. So basically, you're matching at least 4 squares, and basically that horizontal line that's going through is your timeline. So you can stack on top if you do it within the right time frame, and you have to do it kind of in square shapes. Otherwise, you lose it. So there's a time sensitivity. So let's just do this. I don't know. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, so goes my attempt to display. So another single. Okay, it's be ugly, but whatever. So you can stack and do multiple things, but if it had gone like halfway through the timeline, then I wouldn't be able to do it. And so yeah, so that's basically this game. But I don't know, I like it. This one seems a bit slower. It doesn't seem as frantic as the other versions I played. So I don't know if it's that they wanted to make it easier, because a lot of the other versions, it really gets to be a frantic pace. How long? I've been playing for 12 minutes, so I should be getting moving along in terms of the difficulty. So maybe they kind of simplified this one, because definitely the other ones are faster. Like, I normally probably would have difficulty talking, well, at this point, talking too much, right? Because you're trying to focus on moves. Like, I'm not even close to dying anywhere here. I could probably sit for a minute. Anyway, whatever. I'm happy that it works, because this means that I can play... Oh, Symphony of the Night is a big one I want to play. Again. And it's cool because I can actually replay that on the 360, because it got re-released. For some reason, I can't replay it on PS4, even though I own it. I can play it on the Vita and the PS3, but I can't play it on the PS4, which is confusing to me, but whatever. Okay, what do we got here? I like the PSP. Yeah, no, Symphony of the Night would be great. Yeah, I agree with Halloween coming up. Yeah, shut up about that. Freaking troll. No, I'm so jealous about you having the Super Nintendo Classic. I'd be all over that. I'm watching stock levels like a hawk, because there are a bunch of games I really want to play on that. Plus, it would make it so I could put it on here if I wanted to. It'd be really easy, and it'd be a lot of fun too. So I don't know, should I do another one? Okay, maybe I'll do another one of these 360 ones. I'll do, what should I do? Okay, the two I'm thinking about are Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Guacamelee. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to watch another one for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that? Ha, fine, broke. Enjoy. Okay, so I'll stop this one, and Scott Pilgrim, okay, because that's a wicked game. And I'll play the other one anyway later on, but I'll do this one right now. It's a sweet game. It's got like 16-bit, you know, like SNES graphics, like styles, and it's just nicely done. And it's got chiptunes and everything. So I'm on a bit of a nostalgic kick today. Okay, so I'll stop this one, and I'll immediately start another one in 2 seconds.